Do you tend to be really hard on yourself? Now, as highly sensitive people, and empaths especially, we tend to be extremely hard on ourselves. And there's two big reasons for this. One is that we don't like disappointing others. We feel other people's negative emotions, and we don't like letting other people down because it makes us feel really uncomfortable. And two, as highly sensitive people, we have a depth of processing ability. So that means that we become very critical, and that includes being overly critical of ourselves, and often even perfectionists at times. Now, this leads us towards two big challenges, and one is self-forgiveness. We're really bad at forgiving ourselves, even though we're really good at forgiving others. It's like we expect ourselves to be superhuman. If we make mistakes, we beat ourselves up about it, and we're really forgiving of other people when they make mistakes, but not so much of ourselves. And self-compassion is a really big one that highly sensitive people find very challenging, because we put other people first naturally because we're very caring, and we don't like, as I said earlier, feeling discomfort when other people have negative emotions. So we try and make sure that others are okay all the time by becoming overly compassionate towards them and not sufficiently compassionate towards ourselves. Now, with regards to self-compassion, I'd like to share a story of my own journey with you, which you may or may not relate to, but I hope that with knowing about my journey, it will help you with whatever you are going through. So things really shifted for me thanks to this part of my life. Now, I was 13 years old when I first realized that I liked girls. In school, I had friendships, and there was one particular friendship that I had realized I actually wanted something a little bit more. And one evening after school, I came home. I was in the bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said to myself, "You are taking this secret to your grave. No one can ever know about it. If there's anything that you ever not tell anyone, it's this." I was obviously very ashamed. And it wasn't until I was 26 that the secret started to come out. I started coming out to myself. I could no longer sleep at night. It was like it was eating me up inside, and the fear was just completely overwhelming. So bit by bit, I started coming out to various different people, and my family, of course, was the scariest. My secret also wasn't, unfortunately, very well received. So after the trauma of that, I felt like my only option was to try and retrieve the secret in any way I could. And that, to me, was pretending it never happened. And to be honest, that kind of seemed quite convenient for everyone. Then my first niece was born, and she started to grow older. And just before she turned 2, I started to realize that she was going to start becoming more aware of things around her, and something really had to change. I knew that as she'd grow older, she'd start to question, why does Auntie not bring her girlfriend around? And why does she feel like she has to hide her girlfriend? I didn't want that to happen, and I knew it would break my heart. And it was at that point that I realized I really need to sit with myself and seriously reflect on this. And so I began to ask myself, is this what you really want for her? Do you want her to feel shame? And do you want her to feel like there's anything about her that she feels she should hide? Of course not. I'd never want that for her. So at that point, I started listing out all the things that I knew she deserves. To me, she deserves to feel pride in all of what she is. To me, she deserves to pursue anything that feels right for her, regardless of what anyone else thinks or believes. To me, she deserves to have her own mind and own her own life. To me, she deserves to learn through her own mistakes with gentle kindness towards herself, and in that way discover who she is along the way. To me, she deserves a good example in those she looks up to. And she deserves a good example in me. we lead by example. If we want our kids to be kind to themselves and to be happy and to succeed, we need to show them what that looks like. You can only achieve a goal that you can see, that is visible to you. My love for my nieces goes beyond words. I would literally do anything for them. And so I realized that I really had to start showing myself that same love and do it for the young child that's within me, who has the exact same needs as my little niece and deserves the exact same things as her too. I deserve all of those things just as well as she does, and I have done since I was a child. I've deserved all of these things just like her. There is nothing that makes us different in that way. I realized that there was really no better time to show her what self-kindness looks like, by showing her that I'm going to step up and do it for myself. I hope that this story gives you some space to reflect on your own journey and think about what your inner child deserves, and that really it deserves the same love and compassion that you give to others, that you give to all of the beautiful souls around you and all the young children around you. That there is nothing that makes you different, that makes your inner child different to anyone else. That really you deserve the exact same thing as them. Sending you all my love, guys.